Alrighty, so we're going to start class lying down. And if you have like a pillow or something that you can lie back on, just so that you can get your chest opened here. So go ahead and lie back. Might take a couple moments to adjust yourself and make yourself a little more comfortable here. So it might be nice to let your arms rest beside you, palms facing down for a sense of grounding. Or you can have your palms facing up. Feet can be planted on the ground, or if you like, you can straighten your legs and bring them out long. And we're just using this posture as a way to transition, as a way to enter from your day into your yoga practice. So we'll just take a few breaths here together. Take an inhale through your nose, nice and slow, steady inhale breath. Feel your lungs, your belly, your chest, everything stretched to maximum. Hold your breath. And then open your mouth and exhale. We'll take a couple more like that. Inhale through your nose, a little slower. Try to lengthen your breath. Make it feel a little more full, a little more round. Hold your breath when you're full. Take another sip. And then open your mouth and exhale. We'll take one more breath together. Inhale through your nose. So fill your lungs with breath. Let your ribs, your belly, everything stretch to maximum capacity. Hold your breath. And then open your mouth and exhale. And you're just allowing your body to relax down into the bolster. Just allowing your chest to open here. Your shoulders to roll back. So this is a very vulnerable posture, a very open place. Oftentimes we're kind of curling in with our shoulders and kind of protecting our chest. So this is an opportunity for you to open up, kind of bring the body into reverse. And especially if you've been doing anything seated, maybe at a computer or a desk. The tendency is to kind of round forward. So just allowing some space here. Just kind of unwinding your day. Try to relax the area around your eyes, your jaw. Make sure your neck is nice and soft, your shoulders relax. Loosen your belly, your legs, your thighs. You're just sending this message of relaxation all the way down your body to the tips of your toes. And as we lay here in this posture, if you'd like to set intention for your practice, so something you'd like to dedicate the energy of your effort towards. You can also use this as a time to cultivate some energy for yourself. And we'll stay here for just a little of time. Just allow your body to rest deeper and deeper into the shape. So as we move through this practice of yin, it's a little bit different than our more active practices. So we follow three main principles here. The first principle is to go into a posture at an appropriate edge. What that means is you want to move into a shape and then really listen, tuning into your body. Your body will naturally stop. You want to pause at that first kind of resistance point. So you're not blowing past your edges. You're not striving for a certain goal. You're more allowing the posture to do the work here. So finding an appropriate edge, like maybe 70% of the pose. And then principle number 2 is holding very still. Principle number 3 is to hold for time. So this is your magic recipe in the yin practice that allows you to target the deeper layers. So rather than strengthening the muscles, you're trying to kind of lengthen and maybe smooth out any adherences, any catches in the connective tissue, so the fascia. You're also trying to send compressions and stretches into the organs. You're trying to affect the bones. So these deeper, more yin-like tissues just require a little different intention. So moving really slowly. Just make sure you're really listening to yourself. We'll stay here in this shape for 3 more breaths. See if you can really connect with your breath. So inhaling nice and slow. And exhaling smooth and steady. When you finished your last breath, just slowly, gently, if your feet aren't there already, just go ahead and plant your feet on the ground. And then rolling over onto your side. You could kind of roll off of your support, just resting your head on your bicep muscle. And then pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat. Just go ahead and move the prop out of your way. So sometimes sitting cross-legged can feel like a lot in the legs, so it can be helpful to sit up on something. So if you'd like to find a cushion, just adding a little extra length to the legs. And just allow your hands to rest on your lap here. So before we get into our first official shape, just allowing the body to ground. So we just opened up the chest and started to explore the breath. So now notice what it feels like when you're sitting up. Just allowing your shoulders to relax down. Bring your hands together at your chest. This is Anjali Mudra, mudra for balance. Just reminding yourself of your intention. As you inhale, slowly reach your arms up over your head. You can press your palms together or keep your arms shoulder width. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows, and then just like a laser beam, just allow your hands to kind of wash down in front of you. Yep, exactly right. You got it. Inhale, reach your arms up, out, open to the side. So you're just gathering the energy that's all around you, and then just like a laser beam, kind of washing it down your body as you exhale. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly right, Larissa. Beautiful, Mom. Let's go 2 more times. So you're just inviting the energy in, reaching up over your head, and then gathering the energy as you exhale, washing it over your body. Last time, just slowly with the breath. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, just floating your arms down. Easy does it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful job. You can stay sitting on something or move your cushion off to the side. We'll come into a half dragonfly pose. So start with your left leg out and your right leg in. You don't have to bring your leg out super far, and if this feels like a lot on your hamstring, you can put something underneath your knee or keep your knee bent. Reach your arms up over your head, lengthen. And as you exhale, twist over your bent knee. So bring your left hand to your right knee. Tense your right fingertips behind you. Yeah, so bring your hand to your knee. Yep, perfect. And then lift your chest as you look over your right shoulder. So nice big twist here. This is a little active for our yin practice. So once you have the twist, try to keep your head neutral rather than looking really far over your right shoulder. And then you're kind of using your hands to support yourself here. Allow your legs to relax. So legs can get really soft here. Even though you're using some action in the upper body, you can soften through the lower half. And compressions are really helpful for getting some blood flow into the tissues. So before we hold still, we're going to kind of decrease circulation and blood flow. When we release this posture, all that fresh, nutritious, oxygenated blood can come in. So allow your legs to relax. Allow your face to soften. Take another full breath in. And a full breath out. Now just coming slightly out of your twist so that you're facing over your right knee, your bent knee. We're coming to a fold over your bent knee. So maybe you want to keep your arms long and kind of support yourself in your bones. Maybe you'd like to come down to your forearms. You could also bring a bolster or pillow on your leg and give yourself a little extra support. Yeah, good. And so just make sure there's nothing painful happening in the low back. You might feel some compression across the top of the right hip. Some lengthening for the inner left thigh. So just exploring what you feel here. Just breathing into the shape. So as we hold these postures, sometimes the tissues will melt. So if you notice at any time that you might like to come a little deeper into a shape, or if the opposite is happening, if you feel like you're too far and you'd like to come out, you're always welcome to move. So you don't have to like stay still the whole time. But then once you make that conscious decision to move, then you pause there and get right back into your stillness. So you're moving with intention rather than kind of running away from a shape or running towards or striving for anything. See if you can relax the area around your eyes. Soften your jaw. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Try to make your inhales about 5, 6 seconds long. And as you exhale, evening things out. So you want to make your exhale the same length as your inhale. When you finish with your last breath, just easy does it. Pushing your hands into the ground, lifting your chest. And then just pause with your spine neutral before you move. Allow the tissues to settle and fluid to return. And then we'll switch out the legs. So if you want, you can stick your heels into the ground and take a couple of windshield wipers with the knees. Bring some fluid movement into the hips. And then as you're ready, bring your left leg in and your right leg out. Now, starting with the twist. So first, allow your sit bones to root down, feel even on the ground. Reach your arms up over your head, full breath in. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee. Yep. Tense your fingertips behind you and then looking over your shoulder to twist. So you don't need to go like super twisty. You're just trying to go to the place where your body naturally like stops. You'll feel a little bit of a and then you just stay there and explore. So notice if your breath creates any direction. So you might notice like an inhale lengthening sensation. When you exhale, you might notice like a grounding or a contraction. Even though you're using some muscles in the upper body, try to relax your legs. So legs are soft, face is soft. Take another inhale and full exhale. And slowly coming out of the twist slightly, you want to be facing your bent knee, so your left knee. And then walking your hands forward, coming into your forward fold. So remember, you can support yourself in your hands. You can come down and round your spine if that feels okay. So it just kind of depends on your anatomy. Just kind of depends on the tightness that you're feeling today. Just noticing if you're feeling distracted or if your mind feels really busy. It's very easy to start thinking when you're still. The mind is always trying to find something to do. So when you're still and when you're quiet, it starts to run off and explore. So this is a great way to practice that present moment awareness. So over and over, as you notice your attention wandering off, if you're making a list or thinking about what's next, maybe you're remembering a story from another day. So this is an opportunity for you to guide your mind back to your breath and back to sensation in your body. It's a practice. It's definitely not easy. So some days are definitely easier than others. So you don't have to get mad at yourself if you're distracted. Just notice and return to the breath. Just as best you can, over and over. We have 3 more breaths here. Nice and easy. And when you finished your last breath, just taking your sweet time, no rush at all. Just placing your hands into the ground, lifting your chest. And before you move your legs, just allow the tissues to come back to their natural shape. You might even feel the fluid returning. And then if you liked it before, you can stick your heels into the ground, hands behind you, and then just windshield wipering your knees out a little bit. It's bringing some blood flow. Nice. All right, let's take an inversion here. So we'll move into melting heart. So it's kind of like a child's pose, but you're going to have your hips upright. So coming onto your hands and your knees, reach your arms forward and bring your forehead to the ground. So arms forward, hips are high. You want to keep your arms kind of engaged here. So you'll feel a nice big stretch to the inner armpits and the side waist. Now take your right arm and thread the needle. So you have your right palm facing up, and then bring your forehead back down to the ground, or you can bring your right cheek to the ground. So this is a good compression for the shoulder girdle here. And then just allow kind of the weight of your body to rest here. So Larissa, you want to bring it actually more parallel to the top of your mat. So bring your right arm through, like thread the needle. Yes, exactly right. Beautiful. And now stretch your left arm towards the top of your mat. Yeah, there we go. Now see if you can roll your left shoulder down a little bit so that your shoulders are even and your hips are even. Yep, you got it. And then try to relax. So you might notice there's a little bit of compression through the shoulder here. Just allowing the weight of your body to be heavy. Stretch your right arm forward. Take a moment in neutral before you switch the arms. And then thread the needle. Bring your left arm through. Your left cheek can come to the mat, or you can bring your forehead to the ground. And then reach your right arm forward. Just allowing your body to rest on your arm here. So nice compression all through the shoulder girdle. Then unwinding your left arm, bring both of your arms forward and sink your hips back. So just taking a moment in the middle, stretching out your arms. And then just walking your hands back towards your hips. Sit up on your heels. And then swing your legs out in front of you. So moving into butterfly pose. Feet together. So sometimes it's nice to put some cushions underneath your knees here if you want some support. You want your heels a little further away from you so that you have like a nice big long angle in your knees. Take an inhale breath to lift your chest. And as you exhale, fold forward. So option again to round the spine if you like. You can drop your chin towards your chest and round. You could also bring a bolster or some support underneath your stomach here. I like to rest my hands kind of, rest in my bones, kind of like kickstands. And you're just allowing the muscles of your low back to open. So this is a great posture to do if you do have any back sensitivities. So the muscles on your inner thighs actually come up through the pelvis and attach various places around the hip. And then same thing, your muscles from your torso all come down and connect in through the hip area as well. So you're lengthening the inner thighs and the low back, getting some good space in through those tissues. If you round forward and you notice anything sharp or like nervy, any zingy action, just back out a little bit. Keep your chest lifted and your chin parallel to the ground. And once again, checking in with your mind. See if you can bring it back to your breath. Just enjoying the sensations that the posture is creating. Some places might feel intense or maybe uncomfortable. Try to send your awareness to a place on the body that it might feel really nice. Maybe you could relax your eyes more. Make sure your face is nice and soft. So yin practice, often we talk about the Chinese medicine meridian system. So this is a system of pathways. You might relate it kind of to blood veins or nerves. So these little riverways flow through the body and carry energy. So your chi, your prana. So this kind of pathways running through the inner thighs are connected to your kidney, your liver, and your spleen. So you're getting a nice big stretch here to the inner legs. helping to balance the energies in these areas. So kidney and liver, spleen, all very important for fluid balance. So on a physical level, very important. We are made of mostly water, so having a healthy balance of fluid in the body, healthy fluid exchange is very important. On an energetic level, the ability to go with the flow. So when things come up, are you able to move through, kind of pick up your feet and follow the current? Or are you struggling upstream? You have about 3 more breaths here. Just easy does it. If you'd like to come a little deeper into the pose, or same thing if you'd like to back out, just take your nice last 3 breaths. When you're finished with your last breath, just gently lifting your chest. I like reverse tabletop, especially after the forward fold, but if you want to take any other free movement that feels good, you can place your feet on the ground, lift your hips, maybe even dropping your head back, just allowing some space across the front of the thighs. And then crossing your ankles, come over your shins back into tabletop position. We'll warm up the spine a little bit. Inhale for cow pose, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale for cat. Press the mat away, round your spine, dome up your shoulders. So moving through these 2 shapes on your own, just move with your breath. Just exploring the tissues. Just take a couple more rounds on your own with your breath. Then we've been doing a lot of forward folding. So next is a backward bend. Come all the way down to your stomach. So working into Sphinx pose, we'll start with hands, head on the back of your hands. So first, stack your hands at the top of your mat and bring your forehead to your hands. Bring your feet, tuck your toes into the ground, lift up your thighs, push back through your heels, see if you can get some more length to the legs. Then untucking your toes, keep your feet about hip width distance apart. So you can stay right here. You notice there's already a gentle curvature in the spine, so you're getting some nice compression to the low back. Great place to stay, or you can add on. If you want a little more, slide your hands towards your elbows. Lift your chest. So the more you bring your elbows towards you, the more compression you're going to get in your spine. So it's up to you what you're going for here. So you can walk your elbows back as much as you like. Maybe one day your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Make sure it's a place that you feel like you can stay. This will be our longest hold for practice. So soften up your legs. Relax your belly. Kind of just resting in your joints here, in your bones. You can keep your chin parallel to the ground. Sometimes it's nice if you like, you can make prayer hands and put your thumbs in your eyebrows. It's a nice little rest for your head. Or you can use your fists under your chin. Some people like to put a block underneath their head and kind of rest their head down. So it just depends. So same idea when we started, lying back in a supported back bend. These back bends are so important, so helpful for balancing out the spine. We do so much rounding forward, so much rolling inward, that it's really helpful to reverse things. You're also creating denser bones, so compression stimulates the repair response. So the bone cells that are responsible for laying down new and healthy bone come in and start to do their work. So over time, this creates stronger, more dense bones. If at any time you'd like to make this back bend a little deeper, you could bend your knees and allow your heels to float over your hips. If you bring your legs up and that feels like too pinchy or not right in your spine, go ahead and bring your legs back down. So if you notice that you are getting distracted, sometimes it's helpful to count the breath. So try counting your inhale and then your exhale for 1. And then continuing on until you reach 10. And then once you reach 10, starting to count back down, backwards, back to 1. So you're just trying to tether your awareness to your breath, and the counting helps to focus your attention. You can always use it for a moment when you feel distracted, and then once you feel a little more focused, just allow the numbers to fall away. If you lifted up your legs, just slowly lower them down one by one. Slide your arms away from each other or from you. Bring your head to the back of your hands. Just pause here with a neutral spine. Allow your shoulders to relax. And then from here, go ahead and slide your left knee up beside you. Bring your right cheek to the mat. So it's kind of like you're doing a tree pose on your belly. Yep, exactly. You can bring your cheek to your hands, or you can cactus your arms. And just allow your hips to get nice and soft. So passive hip opening posture. You're also getting some good stretch to the inner thigh, activating the kidney, liver, and spleen meridian. So allow your organs to spread out, tissues to soften. And slowly straighten your left leg. Bring your forehead to your hands and just pause with your spine in neutral for a moment. You can even shake your hips side to side. And then when you're ready, moving to the other side. So bringing your right knee up beside you. You can bring your cheek to your hands or the floor. Cactus your arms beside you. And then trying your best just to really sink and settle here. Yeah, good. Just allowing your body to feel this sense of floating. I'm supported by the ground, by the earth. I'm just being held here. So even though in this practice, sometimes it feels like we're not really doing a whole lot, but on the inside, you're giving yourself a tremendous benefit here. So when you allow your body to slip into the parasympathetic, you're allowing all of your systems to kind of slow down and start to repair. This is where your body restores, rejuvenates. This is where new cells are created. So this regeneration is super important for the rest of your active life, the other things you do in your day. In our culture, we're kind of go, go, go all the time. So this kind of element of stress sprinkled throughout the day. So we have to teach ourselves to take this time, teach ourselves to be quiet and be still. So just knowing that you're giving yourself a lot of good work here, even though you're just kind of laying on the ground. And just imagining your body, just restoring, sending energy to any place that might need healing. Find 3 more breaths here. And when you're finished with your last breath, just gently straightening out your right leg. Bring your forehead to your hands. And just gently rocking your hips a little side to side. And then pressing yourself up through your hands. We'll come onto our back. So come through tabletop position if you want to do a few rounds of cat-cow or any kind of movement that feels nice. And then sitting back onto your hips. Slide your seat forward and come all the way down to your backside. So bring your legs like you're standing on the ceiling. So legs up the wall. This one's really nice too to do at an actual wall if you ever have time at the end of the day to kind of do that. But we'll just do it without the wall here. So you're looking for this place where you can float your legs. So you're trying to get your heels to stack over your knees, over your hips. Good. Yeah. Nice. I like it. Perfect. So you're just allowing the blood to flow from your feet down the backs of your legs, up into your hips. This posture is one that can start to feel a little intense over time. So if you need to just bend your knees, if your feet start to feel tingly or anything, you can do that. I like to keep my hands on my body, like maybe one on your belly, one on your chest. Or if it feels more grounding to you, you can place your hands beside you, palms facing down. And just feeling that sense of floating your feet. Slowly bending your knees. Bring your feet to the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And then pull your legs towards your body. And if you want, Larissa, you can do this on the wall as well. Just put your left foot on the mat on the wall and then cross your right ankle over your thigh. If you want to grab your leg, can grab for just below your shin or behind your hamstring. Yeah, perfect. Then you want to find your shoulders, allow your shoulders to feel even on the ground. A little bit of compression in the right hip. Yeah, good. And you can keep your foot on the ground too if you want. Your left foot can stay down. Uncross your ankle, squeeze both of your knees into your chest. If you want to rock a couple of times from side to side. And then before we do the other side, we'll take a supine twist. So take your knees over to the left. You can keep your left hand on your leg, your right arm beside you, or you can cactus your arms, look over your right shoulder. It might be nice to put a pillow in between your knees. Or yeah, underneath your knees is a good choice. Good. And then just allow your whole body to rest here. So try to take the striving out of it. You're just receiving the benefit of the pose. Slowly unwind, come back to your hips, feet on the ground. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh this time. So option to put your foot on the wall if that's what you're doing, or bring your legs towards you. You can also keep your foot on the floor. Well, just make sure that it's a position that you feel like you can hold on to for a few minutes. There's definitely some dull, achy sensation in the hip area. That's kind of normal to be expected. But if you're feeling anything painful in the knee, back out a little bit. Allow your shoulders to feel broad. And then even though you're using a little bit of muscles in the leg or in the arms and the hands, see if you can relax the legs and the chest and your face. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then as you're ready, pull your knees into your chest. Just give yourself a squeeze. And then take your knees over to the right side. So using a pillow in between your knees or underneath your knees if you like. You can rest your hands wherever they feel comfortable. Gaze can be up at the ceiling or over your left shoulder. And just allow your body to rest. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. Come onto your back. Give yourself one final squeeze. Can rock around a little bit. Any movement that you need to take. Then make your way into your final Shavasana. Sometimes it's nice to put a bolster, a pillow or something underneath your knees. If you want to put a blanket on top of you, just make yourself nice and comfortable. We'll stay here for a couple of minutes. This is where your body gets to absorb all of your work. So really slipping into the parasympathetic. It's receiving the benefit of your practice. Face is soft. Just allow your whole body to melt. Stay here for a couple of minutes. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana longer, no problem. You might even just turn the meeting off and rest as long as you like. You're ready to start to bring some movement into the body. Give your fingers and your toes a little wiggle. Then rolling your head gently side to side. We're going to make our way up into a comfortable seat, so however that makes sense to you. You can roll over to one side, press yourself up, and then coming to sitting with your legs crossed. You can allow your arms to rest on your lap. Then just bring your hands together at your chest, Anjali Mudra, mudra for balance. Just reminding yourself of your intention, thanking yourself for practicing. If it feels authentic to you, you can bow your chin towards your chest, honoring the practice, honoring each other, honoring the space. Thank you so much for sharing your evening with me. It's always an honor to guide you. Namaste.